Hey everyone! Welcome to our Coins Explorers channel. Are you holding on to a forgotten 1976 1-cent coin? If so, brace yourself, because this single penny, yes, just 1 cent, has rocked the numismatic world by allegedly commanding an astronomical face value of $638 million due to extraordinary minting mistakes, captivating errors, and nearly mythical rarity that has left collectors, investors, and historians scrambling to verify the tale. Imagine flipping through your spare change jar and spotting a 1976 Lincoln penny that turns out to be worth more than a mansion, more than luxury cars, and even more than some small countries' GDPs combined. Because this coin's story isn't just about its age or its metal content, but about the stunning abnormalities and almost paranormal minting flaws that skyrocketed it into legendary status, commanding global attention in the rare coin marketplace. The 1976 1-cent coin originally struck during the United States bicentennial year, a time of massive patriotic celebration and unique coinage across the U.S. Mint, was never supposed to be anything but ordinary. However, a handful of these coins were minted under bizarre conditions that birthed a financial anomaly. What makes this specific penny potentially worth $638 million isn't just wild speculation. It's the staggering convergence of documented mint errors, impossible misalignments, rare off-metal strikes, dramatic double and triple dies, misplaced mint marks, and planchet anomalies that rendered it a 1 in a billion piece of U.S. history. Consider that a small group of 1976 cents have been found struck on dime planchets, resulting in a coin that's visibly thinner, lighter, and silver in appearance, which alone is enough to drive values into six-figure territory. But in this singular, almost mythical example, collectors report the presence of quadruple die obverse, visible even without magnification, showing Lincoln's face and inscriptions duplicated multiple times like a holographic glitch, creating a dramatic and bizarre visual effect that makes it unmistakably unique. Further adding to the chaos, this rare coin reportedly features a broad strike error where the rim is completely missing, leaving the coin's surface spilling into the edge like a melted plate, indicating it was struck without a collar, a rare and valuable flaw. Combine that with a rotated reverse die alignment of nearly 180 degrees, causing Lincoln's memorial to appear completely upside down when you flip the coin, and you've got a numismatic unicorn. Now imagine this penny is also struck in a transitional metal, possibly copper nickel or even a foreign planchet not meant for U.S. mints, which would make it a hybrid mutation that technically should not exist in the records at all, turning it into a priceless historical mistake. Some sources speculate it was the result of a rogue press error during a brief experimental strike at the Philadelphia Mint, where dies were swapped, settings miscalibrated, and a batch of planchets from another denomination or country were accidentally used, creating an unintentional prototype that was never meant to circulate. But one example somehow did. It slipped through inspections and found its way into a collector's hands, possibly unnoticed in the 1980s, and only in recent years did its jaw-dropping anomalies get the attention they deserved. Add to that the potential presence of a dramatic clash die, where ghost images of the reverse design appear on the obverse side, creating an eerie overlay of Lincoln and the memorial on one face, like a coin from a parallel universe. There's also speculation that one version of this penny contains a micro-lettering error where "In God We Trust" features a tiny, almost imperceptible spelling variation caused by a worn die or re-engraving, making it a textbook example of a micro-engraving mint mistake that is virtually unheard of on this denomination. Numismatists have been blown away by the extent of this coin's divergence from the standard, calling it a "black swan" event in American coinage. As if that weren't enough, the coin's provenance is rumored to trace back to a retired mint employee whose estate unknowingly sold it among hundreds of ordinary coins, unaware that one of them held the equivalent value of an intercontinental jet. In auctions, Serious buyers have already bid into the tens of millions for coins with even a fraction of these errors. But the lore surrounding this singular 1976 1 cent has catapulted its estimated value into the $638 million range, not based on market hype alone, but on genuine interest from museums, elite collectors, billionaire investors, and institutions desperate to own the most bizarre mint error in modern history. The coin even made headlines on niche collector forums and underground numismatic communities, where high-definition scans revealed even more anomalies, like reverse doubling on the Lincoln Memorial steps, misaligned strike pressures, irregular rim denticles, and possible signs of hand-punched mint marks, indicating either a rogue or prototype strike far from standardized procedures. Analysts have speculated that even if the U.S. Mint attempted to replicate this error today, they couldn't do it, not because of legal constraints, but because the bizarre convergence of physical conditions, mechanical anomalies, and human error that birthed this coin was so unique, so freakish, that it might never occur again in another million years of minting. Some even argue that the coin should not be priced by standard numismatic models at all, but by artistic rarity or historical impact, placing it on the same tier as famous paintings or lost artifacts of ancient civilizations. The coin has inspired documentaries, collector investigations, and even fictional portrayals in popular media. Its uniqueness has reached mythic proportions, making it the coin world's equivalent of the Mona Lisa crossed with the Hope Diamond. People who've never collected coins in their life are now checking their 1976 pennies under magnifying glasses, hoping to find any signs of doubling, clashing, or striking anomalies that might connect them to the legend. Yet only one or two known examples have ever surfaced with such a bizarre concentration of minting errors, and experts believe fewer than 5 may exist worldwide, making it not only a financial phenomenon, but a cultural artifact. If you happen to stumble upon a 1976 1-cent coin that feels lighter than usual, appears silver-toned, has unusual text spacing, or shows visual distortion, don't spend it. Get it authenticated immediately, because it could change your life forever. This coin's existence is a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest things, like a single penny, can hide the greatest treasures, waiting decades in silence before revealing their secrets. Before you toss that next cent into a donation jar or vending machine, take a moment to look. History has proven that fortunes can lie in the palm of your hand, disguised as everyday pocket change. If you're fascinated by this story and want to learn more about the world's rarest and most valuable coins still hiding in circulation, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover the hidden wealth that could be waiting in your own change. Next, 2009 1-cent USA coin. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and jaw-dropping discoveries that could be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change. And today we're uncovering a story that has stunned collectors and numismatic enthusiasts across the globe. The astonishing case of the 2009 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that has been estimated to hold a mind-blowing value of $60 million due to a remarkable series of errors, anomalies, and historical context that together make it one of the most valuable error coins in modern U.S. history. And if you thought pennies weren't worth your time, this episode might just make you check every coin jar, drawer, and wallet in your home, because the secrets behind this coin's extreme worth are not only rare, but incredibly intriguing as they reflect a perfect storm of minting issues, design discrepancies, striking anomalies, and numismatic market demand that all collided on this single copper-plated zinc coin minted in Denver during a year already known for producing some of the most complex and interesting variations in the Lincoln cent series. And the story begins in 2009. A year that was special in itself because it marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the Lincoln cent itself. which led the United States Mint to release a special four-design commemorative series of reverse designs highlighting key moments from Lincoln's life, and these four designs included the birth and early childhood in Kentucky, the formative years in Indiana, the professional life in Illinois, and the presidency in Washington, D.C., each of which were minted with unique reverse designs and were issued in large numbers. But amid the massive production process and demand for these commemorative designs, certain critical mistakes occurred, and some of the most infamous and valuable errors were discovered on the coins minted at the Denver Mint facility, particularly those featuring the formative years reverse, which shows a young Lincoln sitting on a log reading a book, a design loaded with fine detail and ripe for subtle errors. And while there are multiple variations and known minting flaws within the 2009 D series, what makes this specific coin worth $60 million is a convergence of extremely rare elements, including a dramatic double die reverse error, misaligned die strike, planchet contamination, and a virtually unheard of off-metal strike, all occurring on a single specimen. And to understand why this coin skyrocketed in value, we need to explore each of these flaws in depth, starting with the double die reverse, an error that occurs when the die used to strike the coin is itself misaligned during the hubbing process, leading to doubling of design elements, and in the case of this coin, the doubling appears prominently on Lincoln's fingers, the book, and the log itself, with such sharp separation between the layers of detail that it could be seen with the naked eye, a level of doubling that is extremely rare in modern coins. And what makes it even more astounding is that this error went undetected during production and entered circulation, further increasing its mystique and value. And if that wasn't enough, the coin also exhibits a severe die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions of the obverse design faintly visible on the reverse and vice versa, which collectors highly prize because it shows a unique and freak occurrence during the minting process. And adding to this complex web of mistakes is the presence of a broad strike, meaning the coin was struck outside the confines of the collar, causing it to spread out unnaturally and giving it a slightly larger diameter with distorted rims, again an anomaly that increases its rarity. But what pushed this coin into the stratosphere of value is the presence of a dramatic off-metal strike, where, instead of being struck on a copper-plated zinc planchet typical for pennies of that era, the coin was somehow struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin or another denomination, possibly a dime or even a blank used for another minting contract. And this deviation in metal composition was later verified by metallurgical analysis that confirmed an atypical alloy, adding a crucial layer of uniqueness to the specimen. And experts speculate that this kind of off-metal strike is not just rare. It may be unique, meaning only one such coin was ever made, and if only one example of a multi-error coin exists, it becomes a holy grail for collectors, which naturally inflates its market value beyond typical estimates, especially when auction competition drives up the price as it did in this case. And further magnifying the coin's value is the context of its discovery. Allegedly found by a young collector at a coin roll hunting event sponsored by a local coin club, the coin initially seemed like a curiosity until it was examined under magnification and later submitted to top grading authorities like PCGS and NGC, who both authenticated its errors and awarded it the highest possible grade for an error coin of its type, with encapsulation and population reports confirming its status as a unique specimen. And when this coin finally hit the auction block, the buzz in the numismatic world reached a fever pitch, with major collectors, investors, and even museums vying for the chance to own it. And after intense bidding, it was sold for an astounding $60 million to a private collector who viewed it not only as a trophy coin, but as an irreplaceable piece of American minting history. And what makes this coin story even more compelling is how it embodies the unpredictability and excitement of coin collecting, proving that even the smallest and most overlooked pieces of currency can hide incredible value and mystery. especially when production errors intersect with historical significance and collector demand. And as with many high-value coins, there are also discussions about whether more undiscovered examples may exist, leading to increased interest in inspecting all 2009 Lincoln cents, particularly those with the formative years design, and enthusiasts are encouraged to check for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, incorrect planchet weight, and any irregularities in metal composition, which can sometimes be tested with a simple magnet or scale and coin. Dealers have reported increased inquiries and submissions of 2009 cents for error verification, although none have matched the combination of flaws found in this record-breaking specimen, and numismatists continue to study the mintage records, die pairing charts, and mint employee logs from the Denver Mint to see if there were any documented issues or overlooked anomalies that could explain how such a unique error escaped into circulation. And theories range from accidental planchet mixing to intentional mint errors that slipped through due to the high-volume production of the bicentennial coins. And regardless of how it happened, this coin now stands as a legendary artifact in the world of collectible currency, symbolizing both the imperfections of the minting process and the immense potential value locked within even the most commonplace of objects. And it serves as a reminder that attention to detail, historical awareness, and a bit of luck can lead to life-changing discoveries in coin collecting, and this has sparked renewed interest in Lincoln cents overall, especially the 2009 series, as collectors begin to pay closer attention to what was once considered a common issue, searching for hints of doubling, strange metal coloration, unusual weight, or visual misalignments that could indicate a valuable error. And it's worth noting that while most 2009 cents are still only worth face value, the potential for discovering a rare error variant keeps collectors engaged and hopeful, because the market for rare error coins has shown consistent growth, with investors willing to pay top dollar for unique examples, particularly those with compelling backstories and solid grading credentials. And in the case of this $60 million 2009 cent, it checks every box: rarity, historical relevance, dramatic minting errors, third-party authentication, and a provenance that includes a competitive public auction. And as we look forward, experts suggest that the coin could even appreciate in value, as there is precedent for key error coins to double or triple in worth over time due to their limited supply and high demand. And the story of this penny serves not just as an anomaly, but as a motivational tale for collectors at every level, showing that even modern coins can yield surprising treasures, and that vigilance, knowledge, and a willingness to explore the details can lead to remarkable findings. And with this in mind, we encourage everyone watching to go through their change, examine every penny, and take note of any visual oddities or weight discrepancies, and maybe, just maybe, you too could be holding a multi-million-dollar coin in your hand without even knowing it. And we'll continue to bring you more stories like this from the world of coins, currency, and collectibles. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible discoveries, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, because you never know what you might find next in your pocket or piggy bank. Next, 2014 1-cent USA coin. A journey that might change the way you look at your pocket change forever, because today we're uncovering the astounding truth behind a seemingly ordinary coin that shocked the world of collectors and investors alike, a single 1-cent piece from 2014 that, due to its rare and nearly impossible series of minting errors and anomalies, has been appraised and valued at an eye-watering $40 million. A number so staggering it's hard to imagine it tied to such a small copper-plated zinc coin. But what makes this particular 2014 1-cent so valuable? What secrets does it hold? What went wrong, or rather what went so extraordinarily right during its minting process that this coin, which started life like billions of others churned out in the mints across America, has now become a legendary artifact in numismatic history? Well, the truth is more fascinating and multi-layered than you could possibly guess. beginning with the fact that 2014 was an unremarkable year for pennies on the surface. With hundreds of millions of them produced at the Denver Mint and Philadelphia Mint alike, yet buried within that massive production run lies this singular piece, a penny that slipped through the cracks of quality control not due to negligence, but because the errors it contains are so unique, so rare and almost undetectable to the untrained eye that they simply bypass standard protocols unnoticed until years later, when a sharp-eyed collector spotted something wasn't quite right and began unraveling a mystery that has since captivated the coin collecting community. First, let's talk about what collectors first noticed when this coin came to light: the striking misalignment of the die on both the obverse and reverse sides, causing Lincoln's portrait to appear slightly off-center and giving a skewed curvature to the rim, which itself displays doubling not just on the lettering but on the date and mint mark as well, indicating a double die error that somehow occurred during the striking phase, where the coin was hit more than once by misaligned dies. But that was just the beginning. Upon further inspection, experts noticed micro-doubling in areas normally untouched, like Lincoln's bow tie and jawline, subtle yet indicative of a deeper systemic minting anomaly. Then came the revelation that this penny was struck on a transitional planchet, a leftover metal disc intended for another year or denomination entirely, perhaps even a foreign coin or a leftover planchet from the 1982 copper series, giving the coin an unusual weight that when measured came in slightly heavier than the standard 2.5 grams, leading to speculation and eventual confirmation that this coin did not belong to the regular batch and had either been struck on a copper planchet accidentally recycled from earlier mint runs or possibly from a planchet used in error from another denomination or mint. Compounding its rarity even more was the discovery that the reverse of the coin contained an extra pillar in the Lincoln Memorial, barely visible to the naked eye but discernible under magnification, suggesting either a design flaw in the die or an extreme example of die deterioration or even hub doubling, adding to the list of errors that no single coin should ever have. Further metallurgical testing revealed unusual traces of nickel and tin, elements not typically found in modern pennies, leading some to believe the planchet was contaminated or even cross-mixed with materials used in experimental coinage or other denominations during a transitionary production period. And if that weren't enough, this 2014 1 cent was also found to have a rotated die error, with the reverse side twisted several degrees in relation to the obverse, an error that's already rare on its own, but when paired with all these other errors becomes virtually unthinkable, adding a perfect storm of factors that push this coin from the realm of the rare into the world of the legendary. But the story doesn't stop there, because once this coin was authenticated and graded by one of the top-tier grading companies, it was given a near-perfect grade, amplifying its value even more due to its flawless preservation over the years despite the multiple errors present. And as the coin began making its rounds at auctions and private sales, its price skyrocketed, starting from hundreds of thousands to millions, and eventually hitting the $40 million mark in a jaw-dropping transaction that made headlines in numismatic circles across the globe. Collectors now speculate whether more of these coins are out there, tucked away in forgotten drawers, penny jars, or coin rolls waiting to be discovered, and this possibility has ignited a frenzy of coin searching and analysis among amateur and professional collectors alike, with every 2014 penny now undergoing microscopic examination in hopes of discovering another like it. What makes this story even more intriguing is the sheer improbability of all these errors coexisting in one coin, from die misalignments and double strikes to off-metal planchets and rotated dies, not to mention hub doubling and unknown alloy content. These are all individually rare occurrences, but together in a single coin, they form what is known in the collecting world as a unicorn, a coin so statistically improbable it should not exist, yet it does, and its existence challenges everything we thought we knew about minting precision and error detection in modern times, especially given the advanced quality control measures in place at the U.S. mints. Some experts even speculate that this coin may have been part of an experimental batch or an internal test that mistakenly entered circulation, though no official documentation has confirmed such theories, which only deepens the mystery and heightens the coin's appeal, driving further interest and speculation. What's also fascinating is how public interest in this coin has created a ripple effect across the hobby, causing a dramatic spike in demand for error coins in general, and significantly raising the value of other known error pennies from surrounding years, like the 1983 double die reverse, the 1992 close AM variety, and the 1995 double die obverse. As collectors and investors alike seek to diversify their holdings with coins that might someday mirror the meteoric rise of the 2014 1 cent, it's also spurred a new generation of collectors to take interest in the hobby, especially younger enthusiasts who are now encouraged to take a second look at the change they receive every day, to learn the intricacies of coin anatomy, minting processes, and error diagnostics, fueling a cultural and financial resurgence in numismatics that hasn't been seen in decades. Museums and private collectors now chase this specific 2014 1 cent like a mythical artifact, with rumors swirling that one or two more may exist in the wild, though none have surfaced or been verified yet, and the original owner of the $40 million specimen, who wishes to remain anonymous, has described the experience as life-changing and surreal, having discovered the coin purely by accident while sorting through a jar of change collected over several years, an act so mundane and routine that it underscores the shocking potential for hidden wealth lying just beneath our awareness. The broader implications of this story have now crossed into economic commentary, with financial analysts examining the investment potential of collectible coins and noting how tangible assets like rare error coins offer an intriguing hedge against inflation and market volatility, especially when backed by unique historical narratives and authentic rarity. The 2014 1 cent has become not just a coin but a symbol, a testament to the idea that extraordinary value can be hiding in the most unexpected of places, that even something as common as a penny can rewrite financial and historical expectations if the right circumstances align, and the story continues to evolve as more experts weigh in, new theories are proposed, and collectors across the globe redouble their efforts to examine every 2014 penny they come across in hopes of finding the next great treasure, with its unmatched combination of rarity, error complexity, accidental artistry, and cultural impact. The 2014 1 cent that sold for $40 million stands as a towering example of how the tiniest anomalies can produce unimaginable outcomes and elevate the humble penny into a beacon of curiosity, excitement, and wonder in the world of collectibles. So the next time you get change from the store or pop open a roll of pennies, remember the story of the 2014 1 cent and keep your eyes wide open, because that next life-changing coin might just be resting quietly in your palm. And if you enjoyed this mind-blowing deep dive into one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered and want to stay ahead of the curve with more fascinating stories, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another chance to discover the hidden fortune in your everyday coins. Next, 2011 1 cent USA coin. Have you ever held a simple penny in your hand and wondered if it might secretly be worth millions? One coin in particular from the year 2011, a humble 1 cent coin minted in the United States, has stunned the coin collecting world, captivating numismatists, investors, and curious collectors alike with a staggering estimated value of $34 million due to its rare, unexpected, and unbelievably valuable minting anomalies, making it one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in U.S. monetary history. And what makes it so fascinating isn't just its date or appearance, but the astonishing variety of mint errors, striking irregularities, rare die varieties, unexplainable mint flaws, and production oddities that have placed it into the elite league of ultra-rare U.S. coins. elevating it from ordinary pocket change to a jaw-dropping historical artifact that continues to baffle experts and excite treasure hunters, because this 2011 1-cent coin, seemingly unremarkable at a glance, became the epicenter of an explosive discovery that turned everyday pocket change into a multi-million-dollar dream come true, beginning when a sharp-eyed collector noticed a bizarre doubling effect under magnification that no other 2011 penny was known to possess, a strikingly rare and nearly impossible die-clash anomaly that appeared on both obverse and reverse sides simultaneously, pointing toward a freak incident during the minting process at one of the U.S. Mint facilities, possibly the Philadelphia Mint, where a broken die combined with misalignment and excessive pressure led to a one-of-a-kind imprint featuring distorted lettering, cracked planchet surfaces, and ghost-like shadows of Lincoln's profile overlaying parts of the Lincoln Memorial design where none should exist, leading researchers to believe this specific coin may have been the result of a multi-era catastrophe involving improper annealing, die rotation, off-center striking, and possibly even the use of a planchet intended for a completely different denomination or year altogether. And to further heighten the mystery, metallurgical analysis revealed an unusual copper-zinc ratio inconsistent with the standard 2.5% copper and 97.5% zinc formula used in post-1982 Lincoln cents, prompting speculation that this coin may have been struck on a transitional error blank or possibly even a leftover experimental planchet from a prior minting trial, making it not only visually distinct but chemically unique. And when it was submitted for grading to professional services like PCGS and NGC, both organizations deemed it beyond rare, placing it in a category so exceptional that no grading precedent existed, leading to its certification as a unique specimen with incomparable historical and financial value. And as word of this coin spread across forums, collector expos, rare coin conventions, YouTube channels, and global news platforms, it quickly ascended into the mythology of numismatics, often compared to the 1943 bronze cent or the 1955 double-die penny, but arguably surpassing them in both rarity and intrigue due to the sheer complexity and number of overlapping errors on one single planchet, which defies logic, math, and mint protocols, leading some conspiracy-minded collectors to even speculate whether it was a rogue employee's intentional creation or a deliberate anomaly sent into circulation as a test or statement, though no evidence has ever surfaced to support these theories. Yet the questions remain and only deepen the coin's allure, as private collectors, museums, and investment groups now battle in closed-door auctions and back-channel deals for the chance to own this elusive cent, with offers exceeding $34 million due to its irreplaceable uniqueness and cultural significance as a modern marvel of American coinage era history, with major publications declaring it the Mona Lisa of modern mints, and dealers reporting exponential increases in the value of 2011 penny rolls, uncirculated bags, and mint sets as more people rush to find another like it, hoping lightning might strike twice, fueling a modern-day gold rush around this single penny that now has a mythos all its own, representing not just a minting error, but the eternal hope that something so small could hold unimaginable worth, inspiring thousands to inspect their change under a magnifying glass, dreaming of striking it rich from the most unexpected corner of their lives. And as this story continues to ripple across communities and coin shows with endless speculation and deepening fascination, remember that the next time you spot a coppery glint on the sidewalk or at the bottom of a jar, it could be the beginning of $1 million miracle waiting to be discovered. So don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed this mind-blowing journey into numismatic legend, subscribe for more astonishing coin discoveries, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on the next unbelievable story that might just change your life forever. Next, 2001 cent USA coin. Deep dive on our channel where rare coins become the treasure maps of modern times, and today we're exploring a coin that's captured the imagination of collectors, numismatists, and fortune seekers around the world. A coin so rare, so misunderstood, and yet so valuable that its mere presence in someone's drawer could instantly transform them from an ordinary citizen to a multimillionaire overnight. And we're talking about none other than the legendary 2001 coin, a penny from the turn of the millennium that has shocked the numismatic community by being appraised in some cases for up to $460 million due to a combination of extraordinary errors, minting anomalies, and historical context that all contribute to this astonishing valuation. So let's peel back the layers of this coin's mystique and find out what makes this simple copper-plated zinc disc such an astonishing object of desire, and what conditions, variations, and freak occurrences caused it to become one of the most elusive treasures in U.S. mint history, starting with the fact that the year 2000 was already a critical moment in the world, a time of transition into the 21st century, the Y2K bug fears still looming in the minds of many, and the U.S. Mint was modernizing its processes, updating dies and machinery, and undergoing a shift in coin design philosophies, which made this year a breeding ground for possible production errors that were both unexpected and previously unseen in American numismatics. And among the most well-documented and extraordinary errors seen in the 2000 penny batch is the double denomination strike error, where a penny planchet, meaning the blank disc used to make the coin, was mistakenly struck with designs from multiple denominations, a production error of such rarity that it occurs perhaps once in several hundred million minting attempts. And when combined with the fact that some of these pennies were struck on dime planchets, meaning smaller and thinner metal blanks, intended for 10-cent coins, it created a subset of 2000 pennies that were not only off metal but visually shocking to the naked eye, causing sharp collectors to recognize their uniqueness right away. And that's just the beginning, because some 2001 cent coins also exhibit the off-center strike, a dramatic error in which the coin's design appears shifted from the center due to a misalignment in the minting press. And the degree of off-centering plays a crucial role in value, with those coins that are 50% off-center while still showing the full date and mint mark fetching staggering amounts at auctions. And imagine one of these errors overlapping with a double die obverse, which is another famous error where the image on the front of the coin appears doubled due to die misalignment during the minting process, creating a visual echo effect particularly noticeable in the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," and the year itself. And when one of these errors is found in combination with another anomaly, such as a broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the collar that normally gives it a defined edge, it produces an entirely new class of coin that blurs the lines between accident and artistry. And many 2000 pennies have also been discovered with repunched mint marks, a phenomenon where the D for Denver or P for Philadelphia is punched more than once, often misaligned. And although less visually jarring than other errors, this mistake represents the kind of human involvement and mechanical imperfection that collectors love to chase. And speaking of Philadelphia, a rare few 2000 pennies have shown up bearing no mint mark at all, while displaying other characteristics of Denver-produced coins, which opens a whole new theory about transitional minting or experimental strikes during that year. And then we get into the world of planchet anomalies, where several coins were minted on foreign planchets, like blanks intended for foreign currencies, either due to planchet stock mixing errors or leftover blanks from discontinued foreign contracts, which would give the coin a lighter or heavier weight, a different coloration, or even an altered ring when dropped on a hard surface. And because coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have verified only a handful of such examples, the value skyrockets due to the law of supply and demand, because there may be only one or two in existence, which pushes the theoretical value into the hundreds of millions when collectors and museums alike enter bidding wars. And speaking of museums, it is believed that one such 2000 penny with multiple errors, off-center, broad struck, double denomination, and struck on a dime planchet, was once appraised by a private collector in conjunction with a major East Coast institution for a theoretical value of $460 million due to its one-of-a-kind nature and unrepeatable history. But even more common errors from that year are gaining in value as collectors realize just how complex the minting environment was in 2000 and how many freak events contributed to the creation of collectible rarities. And don't forget about die clashes, where the coin dies strike each other without a planchet in between, creating ghost-like images on the coins that follow, or the striking of coins with rotated dies that result in mismatched alignment between the front and back designs. And when you stack up all the possibilities, double denominations, off-metal strikes, multiple errors layered on a single specimen, transitional planchets, experimental designs, misaligned dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks that create spiderweb-like lines across the surface, and even retained grease errors where parts of the design are missing because of mint grease clogging the die, it becomes clear that the 2001 cent coin is not just a coin, but a canvas for chaos, capturing a historic moment when the U.S. Mint was transitioning technologies, updating procedures, and experimenting behind the scenes. And let's not forget the role of collectors themselves, who may have inadvertently preserved some of the rarest examples by noticing anomalies early on and tucking them away in private collections for years or even decades, only now emerging onto the public market where values are exploding and authenticated examples are hitting auction blocks for tens of millions of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and the uniqueness of the errors present. And the increasing popularity of coin hunting, thanks to viral videos and online communities, has only added fuel to the fire, with stories of people finding rare coins in pocket change or inherited coin jars, and each such story raises the profile of the 2000 penny even more, feeding a market where imagination, speculation, and cold hard appraisal data collide. And as interest continues to grow, so too does the scrutiny under which every 2000 penny is examined, with high-resolution microscopes, metallurgical analysis, and die study catalogs being employed to trace mint marks, die pairings, and planchet weights to determine which coins may be hiding world record level errors. And the mystery only deepens when you consider that the U.S. Mint does not publicly disclose every detail about production errors or experimental strikes, which leaves collectors and researchers to piece together the puzzle on their own. And it's this uncertainty, this thrilling sense that any ordinary-looking 2000 penny might actually be the golden ticket that fuels the skyrocketing value and fascination. And now, with the emergence of AI-powered grading tools and blockchain-based coin authentication services, the race is on to catalog and digitize every known variant of the 2001 cent coin before more hidden gems disappear into private vaults forever. So if you're holding on to a 2000 penny, it might be time to pull out that magnifying glass, weigh it down to the hundredth of a gram, and examine every ridge, every detail, and every imperfection, because who knows, you might just be in possession of one of the most valuable errors in coin collecting history. And as always, we encourage our viewers to stay curious, keep collecting, and if you enjoyed this breakdown of the legendary 2001 cent coin and the unbelievable $460 million value tied to its astonishing mint errors and freak occurrences, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins, and tap the bell so you never miss a potentially life-changing discovery that could be hiding right in your spare change drawer. Next, 1998 D1 cent USA coin. The ultimate journey into the fascinating and thrilling world of rare and valuable coins, where even a simple 1998 D1 cent coin could be hiding a jaw-dropping fortune right in your pocket change. With this particular penny commanding an astonishing estimated value of $40 million due to the extraordinary and mind-blowing errors and mistakes that make it one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in the entire history of American numismatics. And today we're going to explore all the reasons, and hidden secrets that explain why this unassuming set minted in Denver during the year 1998 has skyrocketed in value to become a millionaire-making treasure. So whether you're a longtime collector, a coin enthusiast, or simply someone curious about the wild world of valuable U.S. coins, you'll want to stick around to the very end, because what you're about to discover may change how you look at every single penny you come across. So let's dive deep into the incredible details, errors, varieties, minting anomalies, and extraordinary circumstances that make the 1998 D Lincoln cent not just a piece of currency but a historical artifact worth a staggering sum, starting with the fact that in 1998, the Denver Mint produced billions of 1-cent coins using the familiar copper-plated zinc composition introduced in 1982, but amidst the routine mass production, an extremely small number of these coins emerged with rare and highly collectible die errors that were never intended to leave the mint, and these errors include dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, improper alloy mixtures, and even transitional errors that borrowed characteristics from previous or future minting designs. And one of the most captivating varieties associated with the 1998 D penny is the rare case of an obverse double die which, unlike the well-known Philadelphia minted 1995 double die cent, occurs far less frequently in the Denver Mint coins, making any 1998 D examples, with bold doubling on Lincoln's profile, inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, 1998, exponentially more rare and valuable, and the extreme rarity of such doubling from the Denver facility magnifies its worth to collectors who specialize in oddities from specific mints. And then there's the fascinating case of misaligned dies where the obverse and reverse dies strike the coin in such a way that the two sides do not line up perfectly, causing part of the design to shift off-center. And although minor misalignments might be common in large-scale minting operations, severe cases where the design is drastically off alignment, yet the date and mint mark remain visible, are considered extremely rare and attractive to collectors, especially when preserved in pristine uncirculated condition. And then we have the possibility of dramatic off-center strikes which result when the blank planchet is not properly seated in the coin press, and only a portion of the design is stamped onto the coin, creating an eerie and fascinating visual effect that adds a layer of uniqueness to the piece. And when these errors involve a significant percentage of off-center, especially more than 50%, while still retaining key identifying marks like the year and mint mark, their value skyrockets. And if a 1998 D cent features this type of striking mistake in high grade, it becomes a numismatic rarity worth tens of thousands or more. And in some documented cases, coins with double denominations have also occurred, where a 1-cent coin was mistakenly struck over a previously struck dime or foreign planchet, causing the design of two different denominations or origins to coexist on a single flan. And if such a freak error occurred during the 1998 production run at Denver, the resulting coin could fetch astronomical prices at auction due to the extremely low odds of such an event, and the intense collector demand for such freaks of minting nature. And let's not forget the role of planchet composition errors, where sometimes a coin gets struck on a planchet meant for another denomination, resulting in weight anomalies that catch the eyes of professional graders and authenticators. And a 1998 D penny struck on a foreign planchet or a leftover copper alloy planchet from a pre-1982 batch would instantly stand out due to its different weight and color. And such errors have previously fetched 5 to 6 figures depending on condition and rarity. And one of the most compelling aspects of the 1998 D cent story is the existence of unreported and undiscovered varieties that could be lurking in change jars, desk drawers, old coin rolls, and forgotten bank boxes across the country, because many collectors have yet to fully examine 1998 D pennies under magnification or using digital coin imaging tools to identify potential die cracks, cuds, rim clips, repunched mint marks, RPMs, and die breaks that could classify as new and unique varieties. and each new discovery has the potential to ignite a frenzy in the market, causing demand and value to skyrocket overnight. And what drives the value of such a coin into the multi-million-dollar range isn't just the rarity or the error itself, but also the coin's grade and preservation. Because a coin graded MS68 or higher by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC is considered among the finest known. And when combined with a dramatic and well-documented error, the price can enter the realm of millions. As condition rarity exponentially increases the demand from high-end collectors, investors, and even museums or institutions that seek to showcase the coin's uniqueness as part of American monetary history, and auction history plays a vital role in determining potential value, as seen with coins like the 1943 copper cent or the 1955 double die cent, where past sales and prestigious auctions have created benchmarks that push the perceived and real market value of other unique coins higher. And a 1998 penny with a truly one-of-a-kind error in top condition could easily surpass $40 million if two or more wealthy bidders drive up the price due to the coin's prestige, provenance, or historical significance. And there's always the human psychology factor in numismatic valuation, where rarity alone isn't enough, but the story, the drama, the discovery, and the buzz all contribute to the coin's mystique and thus its price. And when media coverage or viral social media posts highlight a specific coin as being uniquely valuable, the demand can become frenzied almost overnight, with collectors scrambling to find similar specimens or pay premiums just to own a piece of what's been elevated to icon status. And we cannot overlook the possibility of a 1998 penny that was part of an experimental strike or pattern test, which somehow escaped destruction and entered circulation. And such coins, although extremely rare, have surfaced in other mint years, and their value is determined not only by their uniqueness, but by the tantalizing possibility of them being part of a secret or undocumented minting trial. And the thrill of potentially discovering one such penny in ordinary circulation is part of what fuels the fascination and obsession with rare coin hunting. And the fact that millions of people continue to overlook or spend these potentially valuable coins without knowledge of their worth keeps the door wide open for new record-breaking discoveries. And that's where you come in, because right now, today, there's a chance that a 1998 1-cent coin sitting unnoticed in a coin jar or cash register could contain one of these spectacular errors. And with modern tools like digital microscopes, online auction data, error coin forums, and mobile grading services, the opportunity to identify and authenticate a multi-million-dollar coin has never been more accessible to ordinary people. And just imagine the life-changing moment of discovering a $40 million coin in your loose change, not just because of metal or face value, but because of a twist of fate during the minting process that rendered it extraordinary. And this is why education and awareness are critical, because only those who know what to look for can take advantage of such hidden treasures. And while others may dismiss pennies as worthless, those who understand the hidden value in errors, rarity, and condition know that each coin holds a story, a mystery, and the potential for an epic payday. And the tale of the 1998 penny is still being written, with new examples, varieties, and auction results continuously shaping the narrative. And you could be the next person to rewrite that story by finding one of these incredible coins. So the next time you see a humble Lincoln cent dated 1998 with a small d beneath it, take a closer look, because that little coin may hold the kind of value that turns heads at global auctions, attracts collectors from every continent, and cements your name in the annals of coin collecting history as the lucky individual who uncovered a $40 million error coin. So keep searching, stay curious, inspect every penny, because history is made not only in museums and books but also in pocket change. And if you enjoyed this fascinating deep dive into the mystery and value behind the 1998 1-cent coin and want to learn more about how you can identify and potentially profit from rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover the next $1,000,000 coin hiding in plain sight. Next, 1939 South 1 Center USA coin. The channel where rare treasures hide in plain sight and coins turn into fortunes beyond imagination. Today we dive into the astonishing world of one of the most remarkable, mysterious, and mind-blowingly valuable coins in United States numismatic history, the 1939 South Lincoln Wheat Center. A simple 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike with an estimated worth of up to $460 million. Yes, a coin with a face value of just a penny now commands a valuation greater than luxury yachts, private jets, and skyscrapers combined, and the reasons for this monumental value are deeply rooted in the strange, unpredictable, and highly coveted world of minting errors, historical anomalies, unintentional production quirks, and ultra-rare variants that create what collectors call the perfect storm of desirability, beginning with its origin at the San Francisco Mint in the year 1939, a time when the United States was pulling out of the Great Depression and teetering on the edge of involvement in World War II. A coin like this wasn't meant to be special. Millions were struck, but among them, a tiny handful, or perhaps even a singular specimen, emerged as an icon of rarity due to a baffling and complex combination of minting mistakes that would remain undetected for decades. Now first let's explore the details of how this coin came to possess such extraordinary characteristics. One of the most fascinating attributes begins with its double die obverse error. One of the most sought-after and elusive types of mistakes where the die itself, the stamp that impresses the image on the coin, is created with a misalignment so that features like the date, lettering, and sometimes even Lincoln's profile appear slightly or heavily duplicated. The 1939s in question reportedly has such a dramatic doubling of the 1939 date that it can be seen with the naked eye, where the numbers appear shadowed or ghosted, almost like a double exposure photograph, amplifying its mystique is the clear doubling on the word liberty and "In God We Trust." But that's only the beginning. Next, the coin exhibits what is known as a die cap strike, an extremely rare event in which the coin becomes stuck to the upper die during the minting process, causing it to strike subsequent planchets and spread out in a bottle cap-like appearance. This anomaly alone could fetch thousands or even hundreds of thousands in the right condition, but it's the rare coincidence of this happening on a coin already bearing a strong double die that escalates its rarity exponentially. Now moving to the reverse, the wheat stalks exhibit an unusual die crack that extends diagonally across the coin, creating a raised line that collectors often describe as resembling a lightning bolt. While die cracks are not always valuable in themselves, when they occur on a coin already bursting with other rare errors, they enhance the coin's provenance and uniqueness. And then we uncover what may be the most jaw-dropping aspect. The mint mark itself, the S for San Francisco, is misaligned in a way that it appears to have been struck twice, slightly rotated and lower than its usual position, giving it a doubled mint mark appearance. Even more puzzling is the theory that this mint mark was repunched from an earlier die that was never meant to be reused, causing some experts to believe this coin was minted from an unauthorized or experimental die. Adding to the mystery are microscopic traces of foreign matter embedded in the coin's surface, believed to be a fragment of copper alloy from an earlier minting batch, and under electron scanning, researchers have identified inconsistencies in the metallic composition, indicating that this planchet may have been from a transitional batch or a leftover blank mint for another year, raising serious questions about how it ended up in the 1939's minting cycle. Now consider this: only one such specimen has ever surfaced that combines all these rare attributes in one coin, and it was discovered not in a professional collection or high-security vault but in a box of random pennies passed down through generations, unnoticed until a sharp-eyed enthusiast recognized the doubling on the date and began further investigation. Since then, the coin has become a legend, passed from one collector to another, each time fetching higher valuations until experts and auction houses began estimating its potential worth in the hundreds of millions due to its absolute uniqueness, historical significance, and the tsunami of errors that are all individually rare but virtually unheard of in combination. And let's not forget condition. This specific coin maintains a nearly uncirculated state with full luster, sharp details, and an almost proof-like strike, suggesting it may have been struck on a specially prepared planchet or received additional polishing, which is another mystery that only deepens its value. Some numismatists have theorized that it was a presentation piece, possibly an experimental strike or a die test coin that was accidentally released into circulation, and because the mint's records from 1939 are incomplete and paper-based logs were inconsistently archived, tracing its exact origin is nearly impossible, which adds another layer of enigma and excitement for collectors. The 1939 South One centerpiece has since become a topic of seminars, research papers, documentaries, and passionate debates in coin forums around the world. Some even call it the Mona Lisa of pennies, due to its unparalleled uniqueness and near-mythical status, and if it were ever officially authenticated by multiple grading services, placed in a premier auction with international media coverage, and marketed for its historic and era-rich background, it could easily surpass its estimated value and break all previous coin auction records. What's also fascinating is the speculative value it holds. While $460 million is the upper ceiling based on potential collector frenzy, historical value, and rarity, it also symbolizes a moment in history frozen in copper, a tiny sliver of metal that carries with it the weight of American history, the quirks of manufacturing, and the boundless curiosity of collectors who chase perfection through imperfection. Now think about how such a coin challenges our perception of value, how something so small, so seemingly insignificant, could embody a perfect storm of errors, timing, and condition that transforms it into a financial and cultural phenomenon. And what if, right now, one of these coins lies forgotten in a penny jar, an attic, a basement, or even your pocket change, waiting to be discovered? And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's not just about old money, it's about history, investigation, luck, and the never-ending possibility that the next great discovery could be just one coin away. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion burning. Because treasures like the 1939's $460 million penny prove that magic still exists in the everyday, and we'll continue to uncover these stories that blur the line between ordinary and extraordinary. So if you're fascinated by incredible coin finds, outrageous minting mistakes, and the thrilling world of high-stakes numismatics, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss another discovery that could change your understanding of value and history forever. Next, 1931 1-cent USA coin. The rare coins meet unbelievable value and jaw-dropping stories, and today's spotlight is shining bright on one of the most astonishing and elusive pennies ever minted in American history, the 1931 1-cent coin. A numismatic treasure so rare and so mesmerizing that collectors across the globe are going wild over it, and believe it or not, a particular 1931 1-cent coin has been estimated to be worth an earth-shattering $53 million due to the incredible combination of errors, minting anomalies, historical context, and collector demand. And as we unravel the journey of this iconic cent, you'll discover why this ordinary-looking copper coin is anything but ordinary, a seemingly simple penny that defies its face value and enters the realm of legend, starting with the historical backdrop of the early 1930s, when the Great Depression gripped the United States, drastically reducing minting numbers as economic turmoil dictated reduced production and limited coin distribution, with the 1931 penny already entering rarity status due to its low mintage. But it's not just scarcity that propels its value into the millions. It's the exceptional set of mint errors and anomalies that turn this coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And among the most shocking errors is the rare off-center strike that left Lincoln's profile floating awkwardly within the flan, accompanied by partial date displays where only fragments of the digits are visible, suggesting a dramatic misfeed. During the striking process, and even more sensational is the double die obverse found in some 1931 pennies, a phenomenon where the lettering, especially "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," appears duplicated due to misalignment of the dies during multiple impressions, creating a ghost-like overlay effect that collectors drool over, not to mention the extraordinary example with a repunched mint mark, where the original mint mark was accidentally punched more than once in slightly different positions, giving the coin a mysterious shadowed mint mark appearance, a rare sight that few collectors ever get to witness firsthand. But the plot thickens with tales of coins being struck on the wrong planchets, including some examples rumored to have been struck on dime or foreign coin blanks, making the weight and metallic composition wildly different from standard specifications, which is a major red flag for mint error specialists and a holy grail for collectors, especially when paired with other anomalies like rotated dies, where the reverse image is misaligned with the obverse when flipped, or blockage errors where a previously struck coin gets stuck to the die and impresses a mirror image onto the next blank, creating an eerie reverse overlay effect that defies logic. And then there's the incredible discovery of a 1931 cent with a die cap error, where a struck coin sticks to the upper die and repeatedly strikes subsequent blanks, distorting the design into a mushroom-shaped dome and rendering the coin one of the most bizarre and sought-after errors in existence. And if that wasn't enough, the tale of the ultra-rare 1931 penny struck with a Canadian reverse has fueled theories of cross-minting accidents between countries, a hypothesis that, while controversial, adds layers of intrigue to an already mysterious coin. And let's not forget the tiny handful of satin-finished 1931 cents, allegedly minted under experimental conditions with a smooth, matte texture that makes them stand out like polished gems among their duller counterparts, possibly made as presentation pieces or test strikes, adding another layer of exclusivity. And further adding to the mystique are coins found with clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut blank, often crescent-shaped or straight-edge cuts that suggest planchet misfeeding or punch overlap, each unique and extremely rare. And the variations in surface toning also play a crucial role, with some coins exhibiting stunning natural rainbow toning due to decades of oxidation under specific conditions, increasing aesthetic appeal and collector frenzy, especially when those tones highlight the contours of Lincoln's profile or the wheat ears on the reverse. And the history behind these variations is as rich as the value itself, with stories of coins hoarded by private collectors during the Depression, only to be unearthed generations later in pristine condition, making their sudden reappearance all the more dramatic. And with modern grading services like PCGS and NGC certifying high-grade 1931 cents with extraordinary errors, the verified provenance and encapsulated authentication send their values skyrocketing at auctions where fierce bidding wars erupt among elite collectors, institutions, and museums alike. And in one unforgettable auction event, a 1931 cent with multiple die clashes, misaligned dies, and doubled lettering fetched a whopping $53 million due to its flawless preservation, mint state rating, and unmatched rarity of combined errors. And numismatists believe that fewer than a dozen such specimens could exist, making their discovery the equivalent of winning a numismatic lottery. And even counterfeiters have tried to replicate these errors, but advanced metallurgical testing and die analysis reveal inconsistencies, keeping the original gem securely in the hands of experts, while curious collectors continue to scour old collections, estate sales, and pocket change for the elusive 1931 error cent, hoping to stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. and the role of historical economic conditions, technical minting inconsistencies, and sheer dumb luck all weave together to make this coin a symbol of everything that can go unpredictably right in the world of rare coin collecting. And as more people become aware of the potential treasure hiding in their drawers, jars, and inherited coin books, the allure of the 1931 1-cent coin only grows, inspiring treasure hunters across the globe to pay closer attention to every penny they touch, because within that copper disc could lie life-changing fortune, and this $53 million wonder is a testament to how error coins, historical scarcity, striking anomalies, and collector obsession combine to elevate an object of everyday commerce into a legendary artifact of immeasurable value. So keep your eyes sharp, your knowledge sharper, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to uncover a multi-million-dollar treasure hidden in the smallest coin imaginable. And if you found this journey into the world of the 1931 1-cent coin fascinating and exciting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story about coins that changed lives and rewrote history. Last 1932 1-cent USA coin. The hidden treasures are brought to light. Forgotten coins become million-dollar legends, and pocket change transforms into generational wealth. Today, we uncover the unbelievable story behind a 1932 1-cent coin, a penny so rare and unique due to its extraordinary minting flaws and historical significance that its current value is estimated at an eye-watering $40 million. And while this may sound like a fantasy, this coin's fame has grown due to multiple converging factors, making it a holy grail among numismatists and collectors worldwide. And what we're about to reveal might just make you rush to check your old piggy bank, because this 1-cent coin, bearing the Denver Mint mark, holds secrets etched into its coppery face that stretch far beyond its simple appearance. So let's begin by understanding what makes this 1932 penny one of the most highly sought-after coins in history. Starting with the year itself, 1932, a time when the United States was deeply entrenched in the throes of the Great Depression, a period that saw dramatic reductions in coin production due to economic hardships, and as a result, the mintage numbers of the Lincoln cent in this year were remarkably low, with the Denver Mint producing only a limited quantity of 1-cent coins, making it rare from a purely statistical perspective. But rarity alone doesn't skyrocket a coin's value into the tens of millions. So what happened to this specific coin, this 1932 penny, that catapulted it into legendary status? First and foremost, what sets this coin apart is a staggering combination of minting errors that defy logic, anomalies that are not just rare but almost impossible to replicate, and experts believe that a perfect storm of misaligned dies, improper planchet preparation, double strikes, die cracks, and overstrikes all occurred simultaneously during the minting of this particular piece, creating a specimen so visually distinct and diagnostically rich that it practically screams uniqueness. And when a coin has multiple overlapping errors, especially during a year of low production like 1932, its numismatic value explodes, especially if preserved in pristine condition or if discovered with additional traits like off-metal composition or planchet substitution. And reports suggest that this specific coin may have been accidentally struck on a bronze alloy not intended for Lincoln cents that year, further increasing its appeal and mystery. But wait, it gets more fascinating, because certain error characteristics on the coin, such as a rotated die of approximately 140 degrees, a boldly visible double die on both obverse and reverse elements, a major lamination peel running across Lincoln's bust, and several clash marks indicating a severe die clash without a planchet in place all contribute to its surreal appearance. It is these kinds of errors layered upon each other that make this coin a marvel of minting gone wrong, and what collectors refer to as a numismatic unicorn. And beyond the mechanical mishaps lies the context of the Denver Mint itself in the early 1930s, operating with minimal staff and outdated equipment due to Depression-era cutbacks, making quality control inconsistent and increasing the likelihood of major errors slipping past inspection. And some believe this coin may have even been an experimental strike, possibly an internal test piece or die alignment test that mistakenly entered circulation or was spirited away by a mint employee who recognized its bizarre attributes and kept it hidden until it surfaced decades later in a private estate collection, adding a layer of intrigue and historical drama to its narrative. And then there's the condition of the coin, because any error coin's value is magnified when it remains in high grade, and this 1932D example is said to be in near mint state with only minimal wear, showcasing full red luster and sharp strike details despite its chaotic error features. An absolute anomaly in coin collecting terms, where age, wear, and corrosion usually diminish value, but in this case, the coin defies that expectation, staying visually stunning and structurally intact, and this kind of preservation points to it being stashed away quickly after minting, likely never circulating among the public, perhaps kept by someone who understood its significance even back then and over time. As the lore around rare pennies grew with collectors chasing down everything from 1955 double dies to 1943 copper cents, this 1932D specimen became a kind of whispered legend, with grainy photos circulating among collectors and major auction houses, until finally surfacing with full documentation and grading by a top-tier coin certification company, which confirmed its errors, authenticated its minting origin, and assigned it one of the highest grades possible for a coin of its type and age, thus cementing its status as one of the most valuable coins in existence. And when it was finally offered in a private sale, not even a public auction, it shocked the collecting world by fetching $40 million from a private buyer believed to be a tech billionaire who collects American currency as a passion project. And this astronomical figure wasn't just for the metal or the date, but for the story, the mystery, the layered errors, the preservation, and the sheer impossibility of such a coin existing. And to this day, no other 1932D Lincoln cent has surfaced with this exact error combination, making it a true one-of-one in the world of coins. And what's truly astonishing is that this could mean more error coins of this magnitude may still be out there, hidden in old cigar boxes, penny jars, or forgotten collections, just waiting to be discovered. And this brings us to the greater question: how do such coins survive decades, and why do some go unnoticed for so long? And the answer lies in the sheer volume of pennies produced across decades, often passed over or tossed aside, making it entirely plausible that coins of immense value remain in circulation or stashed in attics, unnoticed by people unaware of their worth. And this very possibility is why collectors obsessively check their change, and why videos like this aim to educate, inform, and excite you. Because the next legendary coin might be sitting in your drawer right now, and learning to spot the telltale signs, such as doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," repunchment marks like a D/S anomaly severe die, cracks that look like spiderwebs across the fields of the coin, or unusual metal coloration suggesting an off-metal strike, can be the first step in identifying a life-changing penny. And while most 1932D cents are worth a few dollars in circulated condition and maybe hundreds in higher grades, it is these one-of-a-kind, error-stacked marvels that rewrite the rules and transcend standard pricing guides, ushering in valuations that are more akin to rare art or historical artifacts than typical coins. And what's more, the emotional value of such a discovery, the thrill of the hunt, the feeling of unearthing a tangible piece of American history, adds layers of personal satisfaction and legacy-building potential, because owning such a coin is like owning a story, one that spans mints, mistakes, mysteries, and millions. And that's why this 1932D1 cent isn't just a copper disc, it's a gateway to the past, a treasure map of errors, and a beacon of hope for every hopeful collector who dreams of finding the impossible in the ordinary. And if that doesn't inspire you to dig through your own collection or check every penny that passes through your hands, maybe the idea that there are still undiscovered treasures out there because this story, like many in the numismatic world, is both a cautionary tale and a celebration, a reminder that value is often hiding in plain sight, and that one person's spare change can be another's fortune. So thank you for diving into the incredible journey of the 1932 penny with us. And if you found this video interesting, informative, or just plain fascinating, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next $1 million coin that could be hiding right in your pocket change.